I've heard people tell me that using Notion requires an Amy Santiago type of personality, which is, I don't disagree with it, but I would contend that using Notion doesn't have to be overwhelming or difficult to navigate through, especially for busy students like me. It is fun and can be confusing to play around with, but today I'd like to show how I use Notion to organize my uni and work life the simple way. Thank you, Notion, for sponsoring this video. It feels like a dream come true. Let's go through the basics really quickly because I feel like Notion has changed a bit over the past year. So this is a new page. On the upper right, you can see 3 dots to help you customize how you want to experience the page. So we have font styles, font sizes, whether you'd like the page full width, and you can also lock the page through here. Let's name this Home. Now you can select if you'd like to start from scratch with an empty page or start from a template. Notion has loads of easy to follow templates for a variety of purposes, like the ones you're seeing now. But for this video, let's go with an empty page. So we have the basic blocks right here, and they're all quite easy to get accustomed to. The real kickers are Notion's advanced blocks. And my top 3 most used advanced blocks are the template button, synced blocks, and toggle headings. They also have, I'm not sure how recent this feature is, but now they have commands for column making, so you don't have to be frustrated about how to make columns on your page like I used to. Finally, if you want to embed any media on your page, type /embed and paste the link once the prompt appears. Now this is my main dashboard, and I try to make it as spacious as possible. I have 4 columns, one for each of my main pages: home, uni, studio, and office. I also have a quote and calendar widget from Indify and an image embedded from Pinterest. And I've also embedded my favorite song on Spotify on here for the vibes.
A mile, a must, a thrust, a bump. It's a girl, it's a rhyme, it's a cold, it's the mumps.
Moving on to my uni page, which is ultimately the page I use the most. I get these icons from notion.vip, and since they're public domain, once you paste the link, it will be present on that page. I have a countdown widget from Indify, counting down to when my term ends, and then I have a simple table for my class schedule. On the right is my course database, which I have set in line. Whenever I make databases, I start by preparing the properties. So add a property and then I prep course, subject type, term, and Zoom link. And then that's when I would fill up the details for my classes. A helpful tip is to prepare a template within these classes for more details like professor lecture notes so that you won't have to redo the content each time you set up a class. Now, once I have details set up, I select my view of choice. I usually go for list or gallery view. And then I filter. I usually filter when a new term begins in the same academic year, so I filter by term or sometimes when needed by subject type. Now this is highly optional, but I like to decorate my database for some extra motivation and not make it look like my Canvas dashboard. So for photos, I always just go for Pinterest, and for icons, once again, Notion.vip. I have an image divider for the sake of both aesthetic and organization, and then I have my synced block for deadlines, where I also use toggle headings for organization so that it's less overwhelming. And a Google Calendar widget on the right from Indify. Lastly, I have an archive page over here to mark all the times I've survived my uni deadlines. Woohoo! Let's go to my studio, which is essentially where I do all the planning for YouTube and other promotional activities as FitzMonkey. I think as someone who creates content, planning is super important, especially if you want to get around certain campaign seasons. For this page, I don't think I have anything super fancy actually. I have a brain dump area over here for content or video ideas that I would like to release for the month, and it's just bulleted. If I structure this further, it would be a bit discouraging to brain dump. So yeah, enjoying the mess a little bit. And then under that, another database for my actual content plan. So I just have the properties, video title, posting date of said video, and the sign in which the moon is or was for that day. I use astrology a lot for guidance, and I believe that moon phases affect our energies in one way or another. So yeah, having this here somehow provides insight for me, and it also helps with planning certain videos. It helps with being intentional with my content, if that makes sense. And then I have a genre property just so I can keep track of what I do and somehow not lose myself, I guess. And then the brand featured or sponsor, if any, for a specific video. And then I have a status tracker for whether I've finished filming, finished editing, whether it's for pending approval, and when it's finally posted. I usually just stick with this default view, or sometimes go for calendar view to kind of zoom out on the dates. Sometimes to make it interesting, I also filter by the moon sign. It's nothing super necessary, of course, but I find it interesting to see certain patterns come up. So yeah, that's my studio tour. I feel like it's an understatement to say that Notion really has helped me get my life together, especially over the last 3 years, like ever since I got into it. I like how it kind of nurtures my creativity in a way, since I get to design and organize these pages for myself and by myself. And yeah, I'm excited to see how Notion will continue to grow from here, since it's a very promising application and I haven't even used it to its full potential. So yeah, thank you for watching. I will be linking